Alright, let's dive into this because it's a story that's packed with layers, politics, human tragedy, and a whole lot of tension. So, Netanyahu just dropped a statement saying Israel won't pull out of Gaza until Hamas disarms. Sounds straightforward, right? But personally, I think this is where things get messy. What makes this really interesting is the timing. Netanyahu's pushing this narrative right before his re-election battle in October. In my opinion, this feels like a strategic move to shore up his base, especially the hardliners, who've been critical of any perceived softness toward Hamas. But here's the thing, Hamas disarming isn't just a simple demand, it's a non-starter for them. They've built their entire identity around resistance, so asking them to give up their weapons is like asking them to surrender their raison d'etre. This raises a deeper question. Is Netanyahu genuinely aiming for a solution, or is he playing to the crowd? Now, let's talk about the Trump-brokered deal. On paper, it looked like a breakthrough. Hamas disarms, Israel withdraws, everyone takes a step back. But Netanyahu's public pushback against it is a rare moment of friction with the US administration. What many people don't realize is that these kinds of deals often fall apart because of the fine print. Israel wants disarmament first, Hamas wants withdrawal first. It's a classic chicken and egg situation. And honestly, I think both sides are digging in because neither wants to look weak. If you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just about weapons or territory, it's about pride, legitimacy, and who gets to write the narrative of this conflict. But here's where it gets heartbreaking. While politicians are trading barbs, the people of Gaza are still digging through rubble, literally. That mass funeral for over 100 bodies recovered from a 2023 strike. That's not just a statistic, it's a reminder of the human cost of this stalemate. A detail I find fascinating is how many of the victims were children. It's easy to get lost in the geopolitical chess game, but these are families who've been waiting months, sometimes years, to bury their loved ones. What this really suggests is that even when there's a ceasefire, the war isn't over for the people on the ground. And let's not forget the numbers. Over 73,000 Palestinians killed, thousands still missing under the rubble. Israel says it strikes target militants, but the reality is that women and children make up the majority of the dead. Personally, I think this is where the narrative starts to crumble. You can't talk about precision strikes when entire residential blocks are being flattened. What many people don't realize is that the infrastructure in Gaza is so decimated that even if there was a lasting ceasefire, rebuilding would take decades. And with rodent infestations and disease outbreaks in the camps, the humanitarian crisis is only getting worse. So, where does this leave us? Netanyahu's stance feels like a gamble. He's betting that his hardline approach will win him votes, but he's also risking further escalation. Hamas isn't going to disarm, and Israel isn't going to withdraw, so what's the endgame here? In my opinion, this is a conflict that's been allowed to fester because neither side is willing to make the first move toward genuine compromise. And the international community? They are stuck in the middle, trying to broker deals that feel more like band-aids than solutions. Here's my closing thought. This isn't just a political standoff, it's a human tragedy that's being used as a bargaining chip. Every time we hear about a ceasefire or a deal, we should ask ourselves, who's really benefiting? Because right now, it's not the people of Gaza, and it's not the average Israeli citizen. It's the leaders who get to look tough while the world watches. And that, to me, is the most frustrating part of this whole story. What do you think? Is there a way out of this cycle, or are we just doomed to repeat it? Let me know in the comments.